Hello, I've written this program that allows me to animate or make an aeroplane move. What happens is I click on the cat, and when I click on this cat, it broadcasts a message. It broadcasts fly off. When the aeroplane receives the message fly off, it turns 25 degrees anti-clockwise, glides for 2 seconds to where X is 133 and Y is 133, and then it turns in a clockwise direction 25 degrees. When I click on this beetle, a message is broadcast, go back to start. When the aeroplane receives the message, go back to start, it goes to a position where X is negative 137 and Y is negative 137. So I'll click on the beetle and it goes back to the start. However, this program has a bug. When I click on the cat while the aeroplane is moving, the aeroplane seems to continue to rotate in an anti-clockwise direction. When I click on the bug on this beetle, the orientation of the aeroplane isn't restored. Well, I'll soon fix part of that. I'll click on the beetle, and when this message is broadcast, go back to start, I'll now click on aeroplane. What I want is the aeroplane's orientation to be 90 degrees. In other words, to be the way it was originally. So I'm in motion now for the aeroplane, and I drag this block here. Point direction to 90 degrees. And so now when I click on the beetle, the aeroplane is oriented properly. So I'll click on the cat even while the aeroplane is moving. Now that's a big problem, but it'll be corrected once I click on the beetle. But I don't want the aeroplane to be affected by the user clicking on the cat while the airplane is in motion. Well, one way to stop this from happening is to understand that I only want the clicking of the cat to influence the aeroplane when the aeroplane is at this low position at Y equals negative 137. So what I'm going to do is I only want the cat to broadcast fly off when the aeroplane is at negative 137. So I'll go to Control, drag this if-then structure, go to Operators, and drag this equals here, and then I'll go to Sensing, and I'm very interested in the Y position of the airplane, and I'll drag this here, and I want this to equal negative 137. So only when that is true do I want the clicking of the cat to broadcast the message fly off. I'll drag broadcast into the structure and drag it up there. And now let's see whether that bug appears again. So I'm going to click on the cat, and while the aeroplane is moving, I'm going to continue to click on the cat and see whether the bug is still there. No, it isn't. And I'll click on the beetle. I'll just try it once more. Click on the cat. And even though I click on the cat many times, it doesn't affect the motion or the orientation of the aeroplane. It only does so when the aeroplane is in that original position at y equals negative 137. But there might be another minor problem with this program. When I click on the cat and then click on the beetle, the aeroplane's motion seems to be affected. I only want the beetle, the clicking of the beetle, to affect the motion of the aeroplane when the aeroplane is in its top position and it's stopped moving. It's gone to the very top, it's oriented in the right position, and only after it's stopped moving do I want the beetle, the clicking of the beetle, to affect the motion of the aeroplane or the orientation of the aeroplane. So how do I fix that? Well, while the aeroplane is in motion, its nose has been oriented so that the aeroplane has been rotated 25 degrees anti-clockwise, and then when it gets to its resting position, it orientates itself so that it twists 25 degrees clockwise, and then it finally comes to rest. So what I'll do here is I'll go to the beetle and I'll use another if-then. I'll go to operators, I'll go to equals again, drag it in there. I'll go to sensing once more and drag down here. But this time I'm not interested in the X or Y position. I'm interested in the direction of the airplane. And I'll drag that here. And I only want the beetle to affect the motion of the aeroplane or the orientation of the aeroplane when the direction of the aeroplane is 90. And I'll drag that broadcast block in here, and I'll drag that structure back there. And now I'll test my program. So let's see whether the first part still works. Click on the cat, and I keep on clicking the cat, no problem. Click on the beetle. Let's try that once more. Click on the cat, keep on clicking on the cat, no problem. Click on the beetle, and now I'll click on the cat and I'll click on the beetle while the plane is in motion, and that problem is now gone. So using if-then, the if-then structure, I was able to remove those two minor problems with this program.